Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. The fit for this video is the Mignola Hellboy. Let's take a look at a video.
Man, listen, there's so much proof to prove that the Bible is really real.
Alright, let's see it.
In the Bible, it talks about how God met Moses on Mount Sinai in a fire. Until this day, Mount Sinai is still burnt to the top.
So a couple of things here. To begin, that peak is called Jabal Maqla. It's in Saudi Arabia, and the top is black, not because God burnt it with fire, but because that is contact metamorphic rock. That is rock that has been burned by contact with igneous masses like lava flows and magma and things like that. And as you can see in this video, hundreds and hundreds of square miles of Saudi Arabia and even the Sinai Peninsula and Africa are covered in contact metamorphic rock. There's nothing special about this particular peak. It is a perfectly natural geologic phenomenon that is very common in the area.
You got the rock that God told Moses to split in half to make water come out that's still there till this day. And inside of this rock, they said that there's erosion, proving that water was literally flowing out of that rock at one point.
So there are absolutely no data whatsoever that support the notion that water ever flowed out of this rock. That split is a natural geologic occurrence that happens with rocks large and small around the world. And people will argue there's erosion that indicates water flowed out of this rock, but no erosion radiates out from the rock. There is erosion in one direction that comes from a glacial flow that's dragging rocks across other rocks and creating these large scars, but they all go in one direction and they're all around the area. In a perpendicular direction, we have other erosion that is caused by millennia of flash flooding in the area. Again, all of it going in one direction and occurring all around the area. None of it is radiating out from this rock because there are absolutely no data that indicate water ever flowed out of this rock.
They found chariots in the Red Sea where God parted the Red Sea and allowed the Israelites to cross through and make the waves crash over the Pharaoh and the people that were chasing them.
They found absolutely no such thing whatsoever. That's something that Ron Wyatt made up in the 70s, and that image does come from the Red Sea, but it's the wreckage of a ship called the Ulysses, which sank in 1887, and you can even go check out the Red Sea diving website where they have collections of images and information about this wreck.
In the Bible, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he made it rain burning sulfur, and they found 100% pure sulfur in the exact spot that Sodom and Gomorrah was. And supposedly it can't be found nowhere else in the world.
So no one's ever made a convincing case that the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah ever existed, much less that they've been located. But the Lisan Formation, which long predates the potential existence of any such cities, is filled with naturally occurring sulfur nodules. That's what these are, and they extend well beyond the area where apologists think these cities were located. And there's also absolutely no evidence that any of these nodules fell from the sky. There would be indications of impact in their context, and there are no such indications. These are naturally forming sulfur nodules, and you can check out this open access article for how they were formed.
You got Lot's wife who turned to a pillar of salt because she disobeyed God while Sodom and Gomorrah was getting destroyed. And she's supposedly still there until this day.
So this is a natural formation. It is a pillar of salt, and it's over 50 feet high, and there are multiple such pillars of salt in the area, and there are even multiple such pillars of salt in the area that are nicknamed Lot's wife, and none of them are actually Lot's wife.
You got Noah's Ark that they found in the exact spot that the Bible said that it landed at, and when they measured it, it was the exact measurements that God told Noah to build the ark.
No, that is a perfectly natural geologic formation. There are many such ridges like that in the area. This is just where two such ridges happen to come together in an oval shape, and you can check out this article for a point-by-point breakdown of why all of it is natural and absolutely none of it has anything whatsoever to do with any ark built by anyone named Noah.
Not to mention they found blood that had dripped through the cracks of the ground and landed on the Ark of the Covenant in the exact place that Jesus Christ got crucified at. And when they tested the blood, they said that the blood only had 24 chromosomes. And every human on this earth has 46 chromosomes, which means whoever blood this was only had one parent and got all his traits from his mother. And there's only one person that we ever known to walk this earth that didn't have an earthly father, which was Jesus Christ. And the crazy part is when they tested the blood, they said that the blood was still alive because it still covers our sins to this day. And that's why God said that man will be without excuse on the day of judgment as to why they didn't get their life to Christ, because there's too much evidence out here. Get right with Jesus Christ.
So none of that is true. This is another thing that Ron Wyatt just made up. He claimed that he found blood while he was digging underneath the Garden Tomb, and he claimed that he went to a lab in Israel and had it tested, and he claimed all of these things, none of which are how blood actually works, and he never produced any evidence whatsoever. No video, no photos, no lab reports, no scientists who could corroborate what he was saying, absolutely nothing. And the Garden Tomb Association, which allowed him to dig there, monitored everything that he was doing, and actually has a letter that you can request if you go visit the Garden Tomb that says they never found anything.